The Dearborn Independent, July 4th, 1925, Volume 25, Number 34. Mr. Ford's page of the Dearborn Independent. Americans are probably the worst misusers of the term patriotism, because so few of them know how much their freedom costs, how it is preserved, how it surpasses what other people have. Waving the American flag and exploiting the American people is not patriotism. Raising the national anthem and lowering the wages of the workers is not patriotism. It is the most subtle and effective form of treason. Nations are undermined from within by forces that pretend to be patriotic when they're only parasitic. We need economic patriotism as well as political. The 4th of July signifies that you cannot stop a person or a people that knows where it's going. Only he can be stopped who has no purpose, no direction, no destination. The men and women who came to this land when it was only land and nothing more knew where they were going. They were headed in the direction of freedom to think, freedom to work, freedom to create conditions of life that satisfied their need. It is always folly to oppose such a program because it keeps step with the irresistible law of life. It marches with the sun. And as a matter of fact, it is only folly that ever attempts to oppose such movements, folly that goes by the name of politics. The first planters of the American idea were not opposed by human experience, by philosophy or religion. They were not opposed by their fellow men or similar degree anywhere, but only by politicians. They were not even opposed by statesmen, but only by politicians. A distinction which makes a folly more apparent. The American Revolution was not directed against anything that had gone before. It was a revolt against the refusal to permit pioneers to enjoy what they already had. The American Revolution fathers were British citizens who objected to being deprived of the rights of British citizens. Independence became the indispensable condition under which those rights could be retained and enjoyed. The old style, written history, which serious reconstructors of history have described as bunk, gave us a false idea of the revolutionary spirit. The old school textbooks showed us a people imbued with enthusiastic and enterprising support of the principles of liberty. But the documents of the period show us a population that refused to pay the tax that supported the war, desertions on a large and continuous scale from Washington's army, wholesale graft and self-seeking in Congress, and a disposition everywhere to give up the struggle at any time. Only a few spirits kept the war afloat. France supplied gunpowder, the guns, and the cash. It is always so. The people are always helped forward much against their will. Humanity is not so naturally progressive as we sometimes say it is. It does not move so much as it is moved by the force beyond its control. Where it is not for leaders whose self-fulfillment depends on completing the mission they were sent to perform, we little know how slowly humanity would progress. What are we independent of in America? Of nothing that really matters. We're independent of any foreign government, to be sure, but not of government itself. Not of the conditions of the world, not of the laws of materials and economics. We have won a certain degree of political liberty, but until we free ourselves from vestiges of corrupt practices, from wastefulness and aversion to work, until we free ourselves of all the things that keep our outlook small and mean, we have not attained liberty or independence. Patriotism, which is a greatly misused word serving as a cloak to cover as many knaves as it does fools, it nevertheless a real and basic element in national life. It means love of the people from whom we sprang and of the soil that sustains us. Respect for the people's rights and active effort to enlarge their opportunities. Patriotism is only secondary political. It is pure form. It is a family loyalty, a genuine concern for the welfare of our own land, with some to spare for the peace and prosperity of the other lands. That is patriotism, and a mixture of other sentiments dilutes it. No man is a patriot who bids down wages to his workmen, or labor performance to his employer. No man is a patriot who erects artificial commercial or industrial combinations that make people's living harder to get. No man is a patriot who engages in a business the prosperity of which spells injury to any part of the community. He may wave the flag all he pleases and label himself 100%. If he is exploiting the least of these our fellow citizens, he is not a patriot. On the other side, treason to any element of the people's prosperity is treason to the state. The state does not exist on political sentiments or opinion alone, but on economic security of the citizens. Political patriotism never makes up for economic treason. It is not the alien enemies of our government that we should fear, but those loud patriots who regard the people and the country as sheep to be sheared. Test patriotism by this, and the 4th of July might become the anniversary of freedom indeed.